The Huskers return home to Lincoln to take on the Northern Illinois Huskies. The Huskers are looking to bounce back from last week's heartbreaking loss to Colorado in overtime last week. So immediately what jumps out to me in this matchup between Northern Illinois and Nebraska is I think about the last time these two teams played each other. Northern Illinois came into Lincoln and pulled off the upset 21-17, and that's what led to the firing of the athletic director at the time, Sean Eichhorst, and this was the beginning of the end for Mike Riley at Nebraska. So I also want to, before I get into this preview predictions thing for the game this week, is I remember saying in my season preview that however the Colorado game, whatever the outcome of it was going to dictate how the Huskers season went. If they had won the game, they would have exceeded the expectations of not only the fan base, but of the entire country. But if they had lost that game, it's just going to be the same story, different year. And they'd be on the road to another subpar season, probably at the best 5-7 or 6-6. But this is the game where the Huskers have to respond. Because after this game, their three toughest opponents, I think, are honestly Minnesota, Indiana, and Illinois. I mean, Northwestern could be an easy opponent, but I don't know what to assess on that because Northwestern's only played one game and it was against Stanford. So this is a game that I think the Huskers must win if they want to get to a bowl game this year. So it's a must-win for Nebraska. So immediately what I see in this matchup is a big key for Northern Illinois is to simply just stay in the game. Because Northern Illinois, they were able to compete pretty well with Utah last week. And Utah's the number 11th ranked team in the country. In the first half, at least, they only went into the locker room at the halftime down by 4. But then Utah came back storming in the second half to run away with the game. And also, I think Northern Illinois has to force turnovers to win the game. I think if Northern Illinois can force at least 2 or 3 turnovers, they have a good shot of winning this game. Because right now, Nebraska's offense, it's not what we were expecting. We were expecting Nebraska to be a very top-tier offense. And right now, the offense just looks completely subpar. Yes, Nebraska had a couple explosive plays in last week's game, but we were expecting Nebraska to probably put up about maybe 40, 45 points a week. And I feel like Nebraska is going to have to do that if not only they want to get to a bowl game, which is the goal of every team, but if they want to reach the Big Ten championship game, like a lot of experts and analysts were anticipating them to get there. They were anticipating Nebraska winning their division in the Big Ten. And also this is for both teams really, is to limit the explosive plays. Because what was the turning point of Nebraska's game last week was that 94-yard touchdown to K.D. Dixon. That was what I thought was the game changer, and it completely got the momentum onto Colorado's side, and it gave them life. So, keys for Nebraska to win this game and how they're going to win it is if they utilize the running backs they have. Utilize Dedrick Mills. Utilize Maurice Washington. Even get Wan'Dale Robinson into the action, because Wan'Dale Robinson's supposed to be Nebraska's Rondale Moore. Because I was talking about how Dedrick Mills has the talent to be a starting running back in college football, because he had 12 touchdowns in 9 games with Georgia Tech. So if Nebraska utilized the running game, I feel like Nebraska's got a very good shot to win this game significantly. And they got to stop the turnovers. Nebraska's turned the ball over 6 times in the first 2 games this season. And that's not a good sign for Nebraska's offense because mistakes are still being made. So stopping the turnovers is going to be important for Nebraska, not only in this game, but once they get into Big Ten play. Because if Nebraska can't win this game, I really think Nebraska's only going to win probably 4 or 5 games this year. But overall, to my prediction. So Nebraska's a 14-point favorite in this matchup. It's going to be a night game in Memorial Stadium. However, Nebraska has not given me any reason to predict them to win in a blowout game. So I'm going to give a moderately conservative score of Nebraska winning this ball game 28-23. Nebraska still has some problems with the kicker position. Barrett Pickering has an injury at this point. Dylan Jorgensen, I believe he missed 2 field goals against South Alabama. And Isaac Armstrong had to kick the game-time field goal in overtime, which he missed wide right. So 28-23. I feel like Nebraska's going to struggle in this game a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Enjoy the game on Saturday. I will see you next time.